You want an AI agent to create a business impact. This person shipped a working microservice in under 3 to 4 working days. In a way, AI agents are becoming like your digital colleagues, and that is an augmentation of the current role. It's not like the current role is ever going to.
All the AI hype from the past 1 year seems to have culminated into AI agents. Today, we'll discuss the state of AI agents and what it changes for the tech workforce in the industry. We have with us Mr. Anirban Nandi, Head of AI Products in Rakuten India. And also joining me is my co host, Mr. Akshay Raj, CEO of Unolabs.
Thanks, Pratik.
Thank you, Pratik. Glad to be part of the session.
Thank you, Anirban. So, Anirban, let's get started right away. You see, a year ago, we had RAG, the retrieval augmented generation, as something that was going crazy, and everyone wanted to get trained on creating a RAG system, right? But today, if you see, with the improving Gen AI capabilities, explicit RAG systems, I can say that they are almost dead. My question to you is this the same case with AI agents? Are AI agents here to stay for a long time? What do you think?
Thank you, Pratik. Very apt question. It's fascinating, right? A couple of years, even a year back, the term AI agent would have felt very academic or far off. Today, it's becoming extremely mainstream, and I think that's because a few forces have collided at just the right time. First, there is the tech itself. Foundation models have reached a level of maturity where their outputs are now good enough to drive actions. We are not debating the capabilities anymore. We are just figuring out how to apply them. And once LLMs could reason across different kind of tasks, it was only natural to start breaking them down into roles or agents. And there could be different kinds of agents, could be research agents, code agents, scheduling agents, and so on and so forth. Second, I think the barrier to entry has dropped dramatically. Tools like LangChain, Crew AI, or even Google and OpenAI's orchestration layers are making it easy for even the mid-level developers to assemble agents. You no longer need to be a PhD or a backend wizard. In fact, in some hackathons I have judged recently, I have even seen non-engineers set up agents with minimal codes. That's a humongous shift, I think.
Wow.
But the third and maybe the most important factor is demand. Everyone is overloaded. Leaders are being asked to do more with fewer resources. So when you show someone a tool that can take maybe 30-40% of the grunt work off their plate, whether that's drafting, summarizing, searching, or maybe even planning, the adoption curve accelerates. In a way, AI agents are becoming like your digital colleagues, not perfect one, but tireless, I would say, fast learning, and always available. That, I think,
Hmm.
at the end of the day, it is an irresistible proposition.
Wonderful. So, Anirban, do you think that leaders have to now uh, kind of keep in budget agent infrastructure in every team, technical or non-technical? Do you think that they will come, or is it already coming?
It's already come. So we are. I think all parts of the budget, it does not include. See, this has historically also been in place. It's not like it has never been in place. Infra was always part of AI analytics, data sciences budget. Okay, it's just a different kind of infra right now, and there is your on-prem cloud, there's public cloud, then there's all this Gen AI infra that needs to be budgeted along with your HR costs as well.
Thanks, Anirban. Thanks for putting your views. It is really helpful. But before going ahead, right? Will you please, for our viewers, will you please put your words? What is AI against? Because the thing is, because in this platform there will be so many kind of people will be joining this session. So will you please let us know what is AI against?
See, AI agents definition, if you go as like a technical definition in my own words, I think these are software systems that use AI, Gen AI to pursue goals and complete tasks on behalf of users. Okay. They have multiple capabilities. They show reasoning, planning, and have certain bit of memory. And then comes agentic AI, which have certain level of autonomy to rather make decisions, learn, and adapt on your behalf as well. So that's how I put it in my own words.
Definitely, agent is kind of more than what we were looking at, in terms of AI in past 1 year. But how is it, and just this is very basic, and I'm asking this just for our viewers and listeners. How is it different from RPA, that robotic process automation?
There are some bits of elements which are pretty similar to what an RPA does, but the kind of activities that an AI agent can do is a little more matured, because it can take a lot of actions towards it. Imagine using browser use. It seems very similar to RPA, but the way it's coded at the back end, it's kind of, the AI agents are a lot more matured in the way it's coded in the back end to complete a lot more tasks autonomously than an RPA. What RPA does excellently well is it kind of excels at automating repetitive rule based tasks which are predefined rules. But if you look at AI agents, because they are powered by AI and machine learning, this can handle newer tasks, more complex in nature, cognitive tasks, okay, which also might require their own decision making ability and adaptability as you go forward.
So, Anirban, you've been into this space since long time, right? More than 2 decades, right? So, will you put your views on, on some use cases of AI agents being actually deployed inside product engineering or operations teams in your industry?
So there are multiple use cases across the industry. So if you see a lot of this agents, specifically, you must be experiencing a lot of businesses or enterprises have this customer facing chatbots as well. Okay, this is one of the most easily accepted AI agents use cases right now. And it's well defined in a way that they can act on your behalf on certain activities and not on behalf on certain activities as well. But as you go along, this is something that has come along. If you look at Amazon's Rufus, okay, it's an AI agent which helps you actually make a purchase by using open text and open language, right? So there are a lot of use cases. I cannot specifically go into the Rakuten use cases right now, but there are a lot of agentic AI use cases.
So, according to you, right, in the space of e-commerce, right, what exactly we reach till now? What is the accuracy level we reach till now? Is it really replacing, in the coming, right now? Just I'm talking about right now. Is it replacing the humans?
Yep, I don't think. See, I am a firm believer of human AI synergy, human in the loop AI. In certain forums, I've used this word called as augmented intelligence. So instead of calling AI as artificial intelligence, I have always tried and favored using the word augmented intelligence. Now, accuracy is not the key here. The business impact is the key. You want an AI agent to create a business impact, and that essence has never changed. So even a decade back, when you are building products, just engineering software products, okay, then it became into AI products, machine learning products, then it became AI agents, right? The essence or the outcome of why you are building, it's a product first mindset, not a technology first mindset. That's according to me. The product comes first, the customer pain point comes first, and therefore you end up solving for the customer pain point using the right technology. In some cases, it's AI agent, but do you need an AI agent for everything? Like the example that you had asked before. If it's a very repetitive task, I know this is the task that needs to be automated. RPA is the place to be. You don't need an AI agent doing that work for you, correct? So, again, coming back to your original question, for me, AI is augmented intelligence. It will always be AI technology augmenting human creativity or AI augmenting human creativity.
Okay. That's a good point, Anirban. You said it should have a business impact, right? So let's so if you're talking in terms of B2C, the customer facing automation, then yes, business impact. But let's talk about agents which are being used internally during the development now, right? So let's say the state today is that one employee can now write the code with Copilot. It can document it with AI, test it with agents, and deploy it. So does that mean that agents used not in the customer facing role, but agents used within in a development in a software development can make the teams only 1% team? Is that feasible, or is it already happening?
See, the entire landscape of generative AI and LLMs is vast. It can improve, it can be applicable for your employees, it can be applicable for different businesses within an enterprise, and then you also have the customer facing applications. But to answer your question, this one person squad, it's honestly, yes, it's both exciting and a little unsettling as well. I have seen it firsthand. A junior developer, fresh out of college, using GitHub Copilot, or what, I don't remember whether it was GitHub Copilot or Cursor, to write a boilerplate code, a ChatGPT plugin to document it, a test generator to actually create unit tests, and then a Jenkins pipeline with LLM assistant prompts to actually deploy it. This person shipped a working microservice in under 3 to 4 working days. 10 years ago, this would have taken a small team. And that's not an exaggeration, by the way. But let me be clear, it's not just about the speed, it's also about the confidence. These tools are turning hesitant contributors into self sufficient builders. A lot of mental burden of how do I start is getting removed. And then what happens? Productivity naturally spikes. Now, does that mean that we are replacing teams? Not quite. There are still moments where collaborations matter deeply. System design, trade-off discussions, user empathy, and debugging those wide, weird edge case scenarios that only humans can catch. But there's no doubt that a baseline capability of one person has multiplied significantly. I kind of was talking to my family and explaining it to my wife, and my kid. My kid is a big Avenger supporter. And the way I was trying to explain it to them is like, think of it like it's an Iron Man's suit. Tony Stark is still in there, but now he's augmented. That's the modern engineer. A highly augmented human who can do more, faster, and maybe with higher quality if they know how to use the tools well.
That's a brilliant way to explain to kids. I'll definitely use this example to explain it to my son. Thank you.
No problem at all.
But a follow up question on the use case that you mentioned, right? A junior developer creating a code in 3 days, which could have taken a team a lot of time. Are you uh, and an honest reply from you that it's kind of a tricky thing to have agent do everything. So in that particular use case, how did you ensure that quality is maintained if code is created in 3 days with the help of vibe coding or agents? How do we ensure that it's all okay and it can be pushed to production?
So I said all of this was done in 3 days. I never said, Pratik, that this was pushed into production or deployment.
I
So
understand.
there's the
Okay.
difference, right? So once this is done, imagine a team doing this bit of the work for a month, maybe building a microservice, right? Now this is done in 3 days. Then from there, from development to productionization and deployment is a separate story altogether. This is where a lot of human in the loop, a lot of human intervention, checking, because you are connecting it to different services, because this is a microservices part of a larger product, right? So making sure these connections are not breaking the other services around, right? That needs a experienced engineer who has worked on this product to make sure there's enough testing done. in the staging environment, then in the dev environment, and then eventually put in the production environment. Be it for
Okay,
the
wonderful.
employee, and it could
Right.
be for an employee use case, business use case, or a customer facing use case. This same drill is followed across everywhere.
Makes sense. Makes sense. But still, you would say that the entire cycle would have reduced efficiency wise. So definitely there are some business impacts, right? I think I have one more question on this. That we spoke about the agent infrastructure, right? So
Mhm.
if all the teams start using agent in some extent, right, to some extent in the development cycle, then do you think there are new roles that will emerge from this agentic AI environment?
Yes, there are already so many new roles that have already emerged. Prompt engineers, okay, as a starting point, right? Um, See, previously there used to be a lot of focus on sciences leading to engineering. It always started with you having product, sciences, engineering, UI, UX, right? Those roles are going to stay. But those roles, the roles and responsibility of each of those roles is going to get changed over a period of time. For me, AI engineering is one of the coolest skill sets to have right now. But outside of that, I also feel that there will be a lot more roles. It's just not been named yet. I was recently in a FLC, Future Leadership Committee discussion. They have recommended a few names as well, but I don't think I have the permission to use or share them right now as part of this podcast. But yes, there are going to be new cooler rules to look forward to, and that is an augmentation of the current role. It's not like the current role is ever going to go away.
Agent curation will be the new role in the team.
uh, it's going to be a new role depending on the, again, it is the business problem first mindset, right? If the business problem needs, if you are working in enterprises where the business problem needs these kind of roles, yes, it will be created. But I can't comment on behalf of everyone, but as far as what I understand, this is an important role for the future, and enterprises should definitely consider that.
And Anirban, one last one from my side. What about the mental burden? Everyone focuses on productivity gains, but what about the cognitive load of managing multiple AI agents?
um, I haven't heard of having this cognitive load of multiple, managing multiple AI agents. I think, uh, see, if you're from the world of software engineering, you do a pretty good job of managing microservices, and you don't manage one microservice. You manage multiple microservices. You have always managed multiple microservices, right? So I have not heard from, at least, I'm pretty well connected in the AI industry. I have not heard this till now that there's a cognitive workload. Uh, if somebody tells you they are having a cognitive workload, they might be new in this field, or and like I said, you have multiple systems to manage with, not multiple systems, multiple microservices to manage with historically as well.
Okay.
Thank you. Thanks, Anirban.
Anirban, see, even though the AI agents are hype, and recently Sam Altman said this is the year of AI agents, right, in one of the Y Combinators event. But there is no standard as of now. There is no industry standard that how agent will be created, or what is the what are the standards we have in a software development. I don't think there are any standards as of now. So if I'm comparing two research agents, let's say a team wants to decide on an agent, right? If you're comparing two research agents, what are the benchmarks actually the industry is using as of now? I mean, in practical scenario, is it time to insight, source credibility, hallucinations? Are there any such KPIs?
Absolutely. Again, I I kind of feel that this entire decade will be. It's not just the year 2025 for AI agents. This entire decade will be dedicated to AI agents. Um, I think a few practical examples, without giving confidential details. Let me give you that. In product teams, we have started using AI agents to help with the requirement digestion. Often user requirements comes in bits and pieces, which is a practical scenario: emails, meeting notes, Slack threads, feedback forms. One of our agents actually scrapes, summarizes, clusters them into product briefs. Obviously, it's not perfect, but it gives our PM a strong starting point, especially when they are judging multiple priorities. Um, Let me talk about an example from engineering as well. So we had agents that support incident triage. Imagine you get a P1 alert. Rather than paging 5 people, the agent checks logs, identifies what changed in the last deployment, gives you a likely root cause within minutes. It's not a substitute for SREs again, but it's like having a super responsive assistant that reduces noise and shortens your MTTR, mean time to resolve, right? In operations, I think one of the most successful deployments we have had was to support the tickets triage agent. Um, it classifies tickets, summarizes them, tags priorities, suggests your initial responses, and even flags sentiments when necessary. Generally, in any or enterprise that you'll see, the L1 support load reduces by around 30% after rollout of something like this, freeing up humans to handle more complex queries. But at the end of it all, I think the most important part is that these agents do not work in isolation. We have to fine tune them, wrap them in guardrails, and most critically, train people to trust but verify. And this trust but verify is very, very important. Like I had shared earlier, it's never about removing humans from the loop. It's about raising the bar of what one person can manage with AI.
That's a great answer, Anirban. I have last two questions
Okay.
which I want you to address. If you
Mhm.
were redesigning an IT team today, let's say,
Mhm.
right? So would you hire 10 traditional engineers or just three ICs and a couple of agents?
Okay. This one hits close to home because we have been experimenting something around this as well. But let me share some details around this. If I ever, and this is what I've learned from my own experimentation. So if I were starting from scratch today in a fast moving digital product environment, I would probably hire 3 to 4 versatile ICs who are good at orchestrating systems, working across tracks, and using AI agents as part of their toolkit. Now, I wouldn't entirely discard specialists as well. There's a time and place for deep system engineers, data platform architects, and security leads. But the core team, I want operators, people who understand prompt engineering, know how to fine tune agents, integrate APIs, and think in terms of workflows and not just code. From an example standpoint, imagine we have a mid-level engineer recently who built an internal tool using 3 agents: one for pulling data, one for summarizing user feedback, and one for suggesting prioritization logic. He's built the whole thing in maybe a week, 10 days. 3 years ago, this would have required a manager, an analyst, a front end engineer, and maybe a back end person as well. Today, one person who knows how to stitch things together can then get this done. So if I had to choose, I would go lean, high agency, and AI native, not just to save costs, but because teams would be agile, more empowered, more aligned with the way modern software needs to be built. But this is again the caveat is if I were starting from scratch today.
Great. And I think most of the hierarchy and team structure will change, as you mentioned, and gradually it will change. You're testing it now. Maybe after a test, the entire organization will start, experimenting and using such teams. But the last question that I have in such scenario, if an AI agent makes a mistake, and something goes wrong, who do you blame? How do you set the accountability?
I don't think the entire engineer or the world of engineering, product engineering, AI, there is no one to be blamed. Okay, uh, it could be a system problem, it could be a human-driven problem as well. We we learn from our mistakes, and this is the way I operate. At least we learn from our mistakes. Whatever mistake we have done in architecting the system or designing, developing, or writing the codes or deploying it into production, we have to learn from our mistakes and then move forward. We What I feel is incorrect if we repeat the same mistake again, Pratik. There will be mistakes. A few days back, GCP was down, OpenAI was down, right? And they have hundreds and hundreds of engineers working on these core systems, right? So mistakes will happen. We just don't need to repeat the same mistake again. That's where I think you start looking like fools, to be very, very honest and upfront. Mistakes and part are parcel of life.
True. So
Learning from
Anirban,
mistakes,
just
not doing, repeating it is the way to be.
I understand. Just one last question, and I'll let you go. So the entire team structure that you mentioned, which will consist of some AI ICs and AI agents. So what is the skill set that you're looking for in those ICs or in those employees?
So it would be a mix, I would say. It would be, see, it depends. The skill set is always role dependent, Pratik, to be very, very honest. Okay. Uh, if you want to ask me about the roles are not going to change. It has to be product oriented roles. Okay. Product or platform oriented roles. And to enable this, you need AI, you need ops, you need automation, you need engineering, you need orchestration. So all of that, and then you have a layer of sciences integrated as part of it to ensure that you are developing something which is also your IP and not only reutilizing the algorithms which are available in the industry or being provided by third parties. So it's a mixture of everything. And that's how you will end up building a platform or a product which will generate impact, solve for customer pain points.
I think I'm done with my question. Thank you, Anirban. Akshay?
I'm also good. Thanks for joining, Anirban. Thanks for your time, and thanks for giving your kind words and just to open up, and the complete discussion. Thanks, Anirban. Thanks for joining.
Thank you, Akshay. Thank you, Pratik. It was an absolute pleasure to be part of your podcast. The name DAX is also very, very cool. So I hope that a lot of the senior leaders are welcomed as part of your podcast, and you can continue to educate the entire AI, Gen AI ecosystem through your podcast from Unolabs. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you,
Thank
Anirban. Thanks a lot.
Thank you.